Hi everyone, Teresa with Hick-A-Billy LLC. I had a request to show video of my air layering on my Chicago Hardy fig. I was lucky to have recorded my first attempt to do it back in February, and these are recycled applesauce containers. I like to recycle things, and I'm going to fill those with moist, wet dirt, and we're going to attach that to my branches that where I want to put the air layering at. Now, I usually am going to score the branch. The other videos where they take about an inch to half an inch of bark off where they score it. I have never been successful doing it that way, and but with the fig, it is literally like a weed. It also can grow as crazy as a tomato plant. So I think that you could do almost anything you want to a fig tree and it'll come back. I have already scored the branch, and I put honey as a rooting hormone on it. So you'll see how I do it there. And again, this first one didn't work, the second one did. Now, I want to say to the gal who requested this video that you're worried about your fig dying and wanted to do some air layering for to the fig before you lose the whole plant. And honestly, I think that your plant will survive. It'll come back. It'll bring new shoots just because of all of the roughness that I have put mine through over the years. I'd have to say that your fig tree will come back even if you don't do the air layering. So this is leaf here was from the last year, and it was already starting to die off. I mean, I pretty much lost all the leaves, and I don't know if you can notice this, all new stuff, but at the tips we have all these new leaf buds coming out. And so what I'm wanting to do was, at this point I wanted to do the whole top part, take that off, and then get the rest of these nodes below to start putting off new offshoots and new branches. I had a new branch there, which actually my dog eventually ate that as it got bigger because she had an upset stomach and went to throw up. And the old leaves I just crush up and put right in the topsoil there. So this is what it looked like back in February, and it was very sparse, but was showing new signs of new growth because it had already, I would say, gone through its cycle. And I had tied these together trying to straighten branches out and try to get things to get straight, but as you can see how crazy, I've got a roller coaster ride going on that tree. So my attempt at tying them off to redirect the branches just didn't work. So I'm instead going to air layer and break this apart and create new trees at the base of these trunks and air layer the rest of it. And this here, the branch got damaged and the bark was actually kind of ripped off around the bottom there and open, exposed, and it healed itself. Figs are amazing. I mean, I cannot believe how amazing and resilient these trees are with just repairing damage and rebuilding, and just takes tons of abuse. Now, this is where you're seeing where I get to score it. Now, when you cut into the bark, you don't want to go super deep, but you want to go deep enough that you see it bleed. And that will trigger the plant into repair mode, whether it grows roots or just patches up with new bark and protective layering. And I put honey, and this is raw honey, and that worked really well. This air layering on this tree actually worked. The other one did not, and this branch offshoot is going to come off in about a month once I get this this roots. Here we are approximately a month later, and you can see that it's got roots on there. It actually separated my containers apart, and it's ready to come off. So here's a current picture of my my fig tree. It's a Chicago fig, and they are very leafed out. They've gone kind of crazy, and I've got baby figs on there. So in the winter, I'll get like maybe 2 or 3 figs. And then I get some throughout the year in here. Excuse me, I'm still a little sick. But they lose their leaves every year. And these are about, I want to say, 5-year-old trees. And I didn't see that, but look at there. Look at that figs coming on here. This is actually quite a bit loaded with more fruit than I've had in the previous years. And like I said, every year it gets better every year, and it always dies down. This is in my west window, so it doesn't get a nice full sun, and it's kind of shaded a little bit, and it does really well with just a LED shop light that I have had on it over the years. And with all the abuse and neglect I have been putting these plants through over the years, they still produce for me. So figs are extremely hardy. From my experience with my one Chicago hardy fig tree, these are the air layering things that I was completing. So the previous videos or clips you see are of back in February, and my air layering technique worked on this tree for a branch that came out laterally off of this one here. And so now this is the new air layering stuff I did yesterday. But we could see the difference in the plant itself from when my first clips that I had in February. Lots of growth. This branch here has doubled in size and lots of leaves. This particular branch here I want to be my main branch. And then of course here's that piece that I was pointing out last time. This is going to come off, but because I've got fruit going, I don't know if you see that very well. This piece here, oh, this does not have fruit. This has leaves growing on it. Sorry, that's the wrong plant. This one's just got leaves right now. So I can do a air layer down there and cut it off, but because of this weird twist thing that it's doing here, I'd rather air layer this tip piece off, have a bunch of branches at the base of the main trunk that's going to go up, so it's going to be a bushier plant. So that's why I'm air layering up here. And then down here we have a branch here, and we have a node here which will bring out a leaf, and more down here. I'll just keep sectioning this off piece by piece and get as straight of a trunk as I can get off of it and make more plants. That's my goal with this one. And then this is going to be better manicured and better maintained. Try to keep it healthier. What I've also been doing, because I do fail to get things watered appropriately and in a timely manner, I also don't dust the leaves off of these plants most of the time. I'm either going to give them their own individual ecosystem, or I'm going to do what I have been doing with a lot of my other plants so that I don't have to worry about watering them. I get the right amount of water in there. I seal it up. There's organic material on the topsoil to keep adding nutrients into the soil. And then this particular pot, I actually put some red wigglers in there that I got out of the yard the other day when it warmed up enough. And I dug up a dandelion that I put it in a pot. My dandelion, it came up with some worms. So I put them in here so they can keep doing their work down here, the typical soil system that's going in here that they would have in nature. And this way I don't overwater and I don't underwater, and I can forget it and not worry about them. They're taken care of, they're happy, and so forth. So this one here, where the air layering failed because I didn't have enough dirt in my cup where there was contact, I'm going to air layer here, and we're going to air layer this piece so this branch comes off. But this branch has fruit on it, and this main piece here has fruit on it. We'll see how that goes, but it's going to be about a month yet before I'm even going to detach it. But I'm going to attempt it with the fruit on it and go ahead and separate these and make these into new plants. Like I say, this fig has been through hell and back with me. I am trying to do it better for it and be more diligent to take care of it and make it a happy plant. So this is the current update of where these plants are. Eventually, this whole stalk piece here is going to be cut down. So what I'm going to have for this plant in particular is this is going to be its new main stalk, and we're going to work with that. I think we'll work with this and make that my new tree, and this will all be cut off and cloned into new plants. And I'm going to experiment with putting them outside. And I believe with the colder areas like I am with the zone 3, they will die back down to the ground, and then they will just regrow out new shoots every year and still be able to produce. I'm hoping that's what will happen. Well, just like my elderberries. My elderberries, they die back. You do have some stalks, some thicker stalks that have some leaves that'll come off of that, but they will be basically all died back to the ground, and then they'll grow new shoots and produce and grow really rapid. And so I'm hoping that's what I will get out of my figs when I transplant my clones outside. So there you have it. A hardy fig that grow like weeds and are almost impossible to kill.